Hello all, my name is Abdul Rahman, and in this video we are going to learn about the data cleaning in, in Python using the pandas library and data science. So guys, if you remember in the last video we have been talking about the same topic. So guys, in that video we have learned about some this type of stuff, like we have imported the pandas and we have read this file as usual, and we have seen all of the columns like ID, URL, we have the region URL, price, year, and all this stuff. And we can see the table like in this way. If we type here something like data.describe, and if I give something like this, then I'm able to see this one, this type of table. So guys, so we can drop the duplicates from our table like this, and we have the data.is null, which means, and we can see the what they say data null values from in the table. But guys, if you remember, pretty much every time when we are running this type of things like data is null, or we are giving something other that like data dot something like that, so we are getting something like this bool, right? Bool, or we are getting the object float. So the reason we are getting this one is, for example, if you are seeing here these columns like ID, URL, and price, year, manufacturer, we are getting this stuff. But here we are getting false, true, false, true. So true and false are the boolean in Python. So that's why we have given here bool. Data type we are getting bool. But if you see here, we are getting like 0 in the type of the decimal. So that's why we are getting the float 64 data type. But in other files you are getting something like here, if you see the object, we are getting we are getting in this type. So guys, let's go ahead and get started and do other some more stuff. So guys, first of all I want to show you one thing here in this one. When I ran this data.isNull.sum, and this data shape something like this, we are getting this. And if I see here this odometer, let's take this one odometer from here. So here I am going to choose this one itself. So I'm going to give data dot odometer dot fill fill null. So it's going to, what it's going to do is it's going to fill the null values in our table data, what we say, fill and if we give. So I'm going to use here the data dot odometer, and I'm going to use here the median. So here I'm going to click on this one. So first of all, I think you have learned about the median in your math subject. But okay, anyway guys, let's talk about this one. So we have used the data dot odometer. So we have used the median, but here I didn't use the brackets. So I'm going to use this one, this median. Now I'm going to run this full function. Wait a second. Okay, now I'm going to run this one. As you can see here, we are getting this one something like name, we are getting odometer, and we are getting the table, how many rows are in our table, and we are getting the type, which is float 64 bits 64 bit. So guys, we are getting this stuff. So as you can see here, these are the row names, but we are getting the odometer, the elements which are in the odometer column. So if you see here 855, so these are the elements in the odometer column. So if you see here 0 1 2 3 4, we are getting this one because these are the column names. So we can give something like this, but I'm going to use here one more thing is null. I'm going to give dot any. Now if I run this one, I have done here some mistake around. Okay, sorry. Here I have to give this one. Now if I run, I'm going to run this program. This null, as you can see here, we are getting this one. I think I have to run this one first. Run this one. Now we are getting this false false. Now let's run dot any. Let's run this one. Now here we are getting some false, like fill NA, we have the median dot is null. Okay, anyhow guys, let's do, so we have the median also. Now let's do the same thing for the mean. Copy this one, I'm going to copy, and I'm going to paste this one here, same thing. Now I'm going to click again and in mean. So I'm going to run this program. Now it's also showing me the false still. Let's remove this one. So guys, we are getting this type data type, and we are going to get this stuff in our file. Now I'm going to close run this program. False also. Here now what I want to do here is we can convert the text, the text that we get here. So like for example, here we are getting this one like let, and we are getting the column names, just an example, but we can convert them into the lowercase or uppercase, something like that. So for that one I'm going to use here the data. Okay, so I'm going to use here the data dot something like bsc dot head. So now I'm going to close this brackets and run this program. So it's running, so it's taking some time. Data dot head, no, has this desc. I think I have not created this, something like desc. So I'm going to end this. Now let's run this one. Let's give something like what we say date head, this one, and then this one. So here we are getting describe desc describe. Let's run this one. Data.describe head, we are getting this error. Let's do a thing. Let's check whether are we having anything known as desc or something like that. So I'm going to check here the this one. Okay, so anyhow guys, it's not there in this one, but we can do this, we can do that type of stuff also. So if we give here, we are not getting this one, so we are getting some errors. Let's remove this one or run this one. Data.describe, it's going to take some time for describing this table. Now guys, here I am going to use the lambda function. So as you can see here, we are getting the table, we are getting the data from the table guys, so that's why we are getting this one. So as I was talking about this one, like I'm going to use the lambda function. So lambda function are used when you need a function for a short period of time. Like for example, in Python, lambda functions are used, and you need it when a function, you need it if you need this function for a short period of time. So this is commonly used when you want to pass a function as an argument, like to higher order functions, and that is like functions that takes other functions as their arguments, something like that. So that's why lambda functions are used. But here let's click on this one. Are we opening anything? Let's open this. I think it's going to open a, what we say, it's going to open a website. So anyhow guys, I don't want this stuff now. So I want to guys show you that how we can use the lambda function, and we can convert this into a lowercase. So for doing that one, I'm going to use here the data.desc, and I'm going to use here the desc head, this one dot head. Now if I go in the end, I have used the desc here, but here in this case we are going to get dot apply, but it's not going to work. Just I'm going to show you how we can make these things, like how we can convert this into a lowercase. Like for example, let's choose, so anyhow guys, we can convert them. For example, if we have a variable something like desc, then we can convert them easily, but I'm going to show you how to convert them. So we can use this bda lambda, and we can give x should be x. Okay, so x should be x dot something like lower. So if you want this to be lower, let's run this. Are we getting any? Okay, so guys, we are getting errors. So if we give them in the upper, then we are going to get errors. So anyhow guys, so if in which form you want, like uppercase or lowercase, it's depending on you that which you want to use here. Okay guys, we can convert them these things into the, what we say, so we can convert this into a float. Like for example, I want to use here the data dot esc, not the esc. I want to use here these columns. From these columns, let's choose a column like cylinders. Let's use this cylinder. So I'm going to copy this cylinders and I'm going to paste this one at the bottom of this page. Now we have the okay. So now we have the data dot cylinders. So instead of this one, I'm going to use here the head. I think now let's run this program. As you can see here, we are getting the data type object and we are getting this and now we are getting this one. Now I am going to cop copy this and I'm going to paste this one. So we have the head. Now I'm going to apply this one and I'm going to make this one into the something like, let's don't remove this one. Let's check whether the type. Now let's run this one what we are getting. So now it's showing me the data type, which in which type of data type it is. It's showing me the O, which means object. Now we can check the polygons. So I'm going to paste this one here. So data dot cylinders, we have the head, but I'm going to remove this head from here. I'm going to give here the value as value counts and in this and that one also in these brackets here on this one. So as you can see here, we are getting the counts that we have been used this one. Now we have the name cylinders and the data type is int in the integer, right? So that's why we are getting in the numbers from like 94169 something like that. So if I copy this, so you can do other lot of stuff in this one, like using the data cylinders. You can do this type of stuff doing this one. Okay, so anyway guys, that's all for this video. So if you have any questions, please give it in the comments below and make sure subscribe to this channel and like this video, and I will see you in the next